Hello everyone and welcome back to Next Generation Composite Competition. We are here for NASCAR GT's season opening Blue Moon Battles here of course at the Blue Moon Bay Speedway. We've got 7 drivers currently ready for the first of the 2 battles that we will see today. They will be 2 20-lap races around this great speedway, which will decide the starting grid for next week's Blue Moon 200, really the crown jewel event for NASCAR GT. We are here in our 6th season of this series, and we're looking forward to what could well be the most competitive season yet. The drivers are making their way around the laps, around the track for some practice laps, get there in the end. And we are, I think fair to say, all very excited for this season's first race, and give us our first glimpse at what the season might just look like as a new book of regulations and a lot of fresh new faces in the series mean that it's going to be an exciting one no matter what. You can see there on your right hand side of your screen, you can see some of the drivers entered into this first of the 2 battles. I believe there'll be 7 or 8 drivers in both of the 2 battles, meaning of course when we get around to the 200 we'll hopefully have a nice full grid of 15 drivers. Well, that's not guaranteed. We should still get a nice healthy field to start the season off with. But you can see some established names there, with the likes of Seb Mills in the number 4 Fast Formula Racing car. Then you've got Ben Driscoll in the $36 Motorsport car. A new driver there with Matt Pulio in the number 5 Fast Formula Racing car. Then you have Ghost Fired Up in the number 7 car for Phoenix Motorsports. Another driver who's got a lot of success around this racetrack. He narrowly missed out on the victory in his battle last season, but he did go on to win the Blue Moon 200. So he's got impressive form around here, as well as winning the All-Star race all the way back in, I think it was season 2 or 3. So got a good history here, does he? Elmery returning to racing in NASCAR GT. He'll also be with the Phoenix Motorsports team. Then there is Scott Sandover, who'll be racing for Funny F1. And then finally we have George Hassart in the number 33 Zero Quality Racing team car. That is a team that I think hopefully will be underselling themselves going into this season, and I look forward to seeing what they are capable of across the year. Just get the story out for everyone to see that we are indeed live, so we'll just get the final few preparations done, and then we'll be ready to race. It's a difficult job as a commentator, I won't lie. I will be doing 3 jobs tonight. I will be, of course, commentating for all of you watching. I will be race director, so when we need to have a caution, I'll then tell the drivers that they need to slow down, go at caution speed, tell them when to restart. And I'll also be having to keep an eye on my phone to make sure that I'm not needed in any of these group chats. Of course, as admin of the league, I need to be ready to see any questions from the drivers and such, and just to make sure we avoid any potential drama in today's races. But of course, you know, it's a season openers. We could have some drama. Sometimes that makes things more exciting, so it's not all bad. But either way, it should be good fun in tonight's events. It's the only night of the year that has 2 race winners, which is always a bit of fun. I believe the winners of last season's battles were Jackson Turner, who went on to win the championship that season, and Tyler Davison, who will be returning to racing this season. I believe he's in the 2nd of the battles. I have to do the final check of the grid for today's event. So just really essentially doing a register here. Just waiting. It's just Ridwan missing from this first one. Lives in Australia, so the time isn't always easy for him, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he does miss out. But Seb Mills is here, George Hassart, Adam Richardson, Elmery Sarlo, Scott Sandover, we've got Ben Driscoll and Matt Pulio, so that's all of them are here. So that all looks very good to me. So we are ready to start the first Battle at Blue Moon of the season, and the first race of the season here in NASCAR GT. So without further ado, let's start this event. 10 seconds until this event starts. There will be 1 formation lap for the drivers to get up into their rolling start positions, and then we will be up to racing speed. If a car does spin at any point in the race, we will have a caution then. That will be to allow the field to get back into position, and it will be a Fast Formula Racing front row lockout for today's event, which is good news for that team. Seb Mills, though, racing under appeal currently. So, yes, that's an interesting one there for him, as we do see the formation lap is underway. And we can have a look around Seb Mills' car. Not available to go off ball at the moment, which is unusual. Let me try exiting and re-entering here. Oh, there we go. So let's get up all the options so we can see everything that's going on. And now we do see the front row lining up here, getting ready for the start happening around the back. You can see already some of the drivers having some issues getting lined up, but as I've said, we've had about a month or two off racing, so there'll be a few issues here. But hopefully these guys will be all up to speed quickly, get back into the routine that they all remember from previous seasons. Of course, some of the newer drivers will have to try and learn these steps, but hopefully some of the veteran drivers will help them out with getting up to speed here. As you do see, the grid is nearly ready, so I will let them know that it is green this time, and they will be well aware that we are going to be starting the race. And as we can now see here, on pole position for the first of the battles at Blue Moon, it is Sebastian Mills, the two-time champion, the only champion on the grid this season, who will be landing alongside the rookie Matt Pulio. Let's see how this race goes. They're side by side and we're getting ready for the start of the first battle at Blue Moon. They're rolling away to the grid. They're waiting, they're waiting, they're waiting. And for the first time in Season 6, the green flag is in the air, and immediately a great jump off the line there from Sebastian Mills. But immediately there, Matt Pulio may well have just got himself in trouble. He moved definitely before the start-finish line. That may well result in a penalty after this race, but there's a long way to go in this one as Elmarie Salo's looking on the low side in that number 9 Phoenix Motorsports car. He's on the inside there, 3 wide for the lead already. Matt Pulio to the outside, and he takes the lead as they're then 4 wide for second place here. Now it's 3 wide. You've got Scott Handover with a great exit off the high side. It's going to pull in front of Sebastian Mills, but he's still got Ben Driscoll on his inside there in the number 36 car. They're racing through turn 2 for the first time today. Well, could we have a change of lead here? Ben Driscoll going for the lead into turn 3 now. Seb Mills dropping down the order up at the front. It is Driscoll in the 36 who will take the lead of the race. He blocks Pulio off of turn 3. And there we see, in that very respectful livery in the number 36 car, Ben Driscoll takes the lead of the race, with Matt Pulio and Scott Sandover in second and third there. Not the best of starts for Formula Racing, but a great start there for Dalton Autosport, although immediately you can see the field getting ready to attack that Chevrolet out front. All these drivers in Chevrolets this season to make sure that the performance is all nice and equal so that everyone has a fair opportunity. And the back, you can see all in a line drafting together. They know that it isn't one on lap 3, it's one on lap 20, so you've got to take your time, but at the same time you've got to be in a position to win on lap 20. So they're going all the way to the end here, and Sandover up into second place now, ahead of Pulio. They make their way out of turn 3 again as you see banging wheels down the main straight. You can see Salo getting his elbows out there as, oh, a big wheel there from Pulio. As you can see, look how hard they're racing. They do not want to give an inch here in the early laps of this race. Driscoll, though, still leading. It looks like he's got a good route behind him that are willing to push him at the moment. But there you see some racing. Immediately Sandover goes to the outside of Driscoll as they come out of turn 1. Who is going to get the lead here? Sandover's got the outside line. He may have had the momentum, but Pulio is going to push Driscoll back out to the lead in that number 36 Dalton Autosport car. He is going to retake the lead again. Pulio gets up into second there as there's some contact going into that corner, but they all seem to have survived nicely as they make their way towards turn 3 now. Driscoll leads in the 36, just ahead of Pulio in the 5, and then comes Scott Sandover in the number 23 car for Funny F1 Racing. Then you see the Phoenix Motorsport car of Adam Richardson there, racing with his teammate there of Elmarie Salo, but he gets a bump from Seb. Oh, but it nearly knocks him sideways there. That was a very hard bump from Seb. It looks like it may well have almost spun him out on the straight, but he managed to hold onto the car, but it does cost him any chance at getting that position further up the road. But up at the front, Driscoll and Pulio side by side for the lead. Again, we're going to see side-by-side racing going down the back straight. Pulio takes the lead ahead of Ben Driscoll. Elmarie Salo on the outside looking to try and get into this line, but look, it's a freight train going past him on the inside line. He's going to drop back straight down the order, and from challenging for the lead all the way down to dropping back to 5th as Driscoll goes to the inside in the 36. The 5 on the outside trying to keep it around the outside, trying to keep it out the wall, but there's contact, and around goes the 7 of Adam Richardson, and that will bring out our first caution of the day. So this will be a caution now for all the drivers. Let's quickly type that one out so they know and send that. And there we go, caution is out on the racetrack. And they will all have to slow down here, and it will be Salo who leads the way ahead of Driscoll. And now we'll see the field bunching up, making sure they get into the right positions here, and you see them slowing down to 75 to 85 miles per hour is the speed limit around here under cautions. But yeah, Richardson, the first spinner of the day here on lap 5, well, at the end of lap 5. He went around in that Phoenix Motorsports car. It's hard to say if he had some contact there. He quite possibly did. But equally, it's possible to spin off that corner. It's a long, high-speed corner where if you push the limit a bit too far, it can go wrong. Well, now let the drivers know that they will be green this time. The whole field is together, so we'll be ready to return to racing. We see now the field bunched up nicely. Salo leads the way in that number 9 Phoenix Motorsports car. On the outside then is Driscoll in the 36 Dalton North Sport car. And we are getting ready to go back racing as they manage to maintain pace under caution, and they're back to racing straight away. Green flags in the air, and we are racing again in the battles at Blue Moon. Elmarie Salo with a massive jump, but again we've seen someone move before the start-finish line. That will again most likely result in a penalty if they do get reported, as it's side by side for second. Sandover racing with Driscoll, around the outside he goes, but Salo leading the way by 6/10 of a second. He's got the jump on the whole field there. Brilliant racing, as now we see, look at the pack racing side by side further down the order. Driscoll and Pulio racing, and that was a bit of a wheel bang there from these two, with Seb Mills just behind them. Then you have George Hassart and Adam Richardson, the driver who brought out that caution right at the back of the field at the moment. But as you can see, the field all together at the moment is up at the front. Salo in the 9 car continues to lead the 9 out front here at Blue Moon. But then you see Driscoll right on the back of him, with Pulio pushing him down the main straight. Who's Pulio going to go with? Will he go to the inside? Will he work with Ben? Or will he go for his own lead? He's going to go to the inside, is he? He's looking for it, but he's going to stay behind the number 36 car that will retake the lead here at Blue Moon. As then you see Salo trying to make a move on the inside, as rubbing the wall it looked like there. Pulio really pushing the limits here early in this race, as we're nearly at the halfway mark already. That's the great thing about these battles. These drivers don't have a chance to hang around. They have to push all the way until the finish. Out front, Driscoll pushing hard and getting pushed hard there by Pulio in that number 5 Fast Formula Racing car. He's going to go to the high side there. Driscoll puts himself in the middle of the road, ready to cover off whatever line he may well need to. But Pulio on the high side, if he's got that right, he will get a lot of ground down the main straight, as Seb Mills has got up into 3rd position there to try and back up his teammate. But out front it is Driscoll in at the number 36 car. To the inside goes Pulio. Mills on the rear bumper of him. Oh, they bang wheels. There's almost contact. That can't end well. Is Richardson gone around again? He had a massive slide. He may well have ended up in the wall there. Drama down in turn 1, but somehow Pulio has ended up in the lead. Or has Driscoll done it? Driscoll on the high side. Has he managed to carry the momentum? He has. He's back into the lead here at Blue Moon. Pulio right behind him though. Mills behind him. One of the 2 Mills brothers, the 2-time champion, looking to try and get a win here to start off season. Oh, there's contact behind. That was Richardson again in the walls there. That time I believe he may have been pushed up into the wall by Seb Mills. As you can see there, Driscoll, he went in too deep into the final corner. He's handed the lead over to Pulio, who takes the lead in that number 5 Chevrolet. But now we've got side-by-side racing for 2nd place. Adam Richardson there trying to get his way into the mix, but look at that. Seb Mills going to make it 3 wide there, banging the wheels again here as they go into turn 1. They all want a piece of this race. And look at them coming out of the corner now. Pulio with the lead ahead of Seb Mills. Then comes Ben Driscoll and Adam Richardson as the field again gets themselves into a nice neat line for a very short space of time before they'll all be all over the road again as they get their opportunities to make some moves. As with SE, Richardson going to the high side through turn 2. He's not been able to make anything work there, but up at the front, Pulio and Mills leading the way here in the 2 Fast Formula Racing cars. But Elmarie Salo trying to make something happen there in the 9 car. He's going to push Seb into the wall. Looks like they've both just about kept it going there, but that may well have helped Salo get that move done. As we see them making their way down towards turn 1 now. Elmarie Salo going for the lead in the number 9 Phoenix Motorsports car. He's going to go to the inside now. Will he be able to fight his way to the front here? Salo on the inside, Pulio on the outside. He's going to get clear just about. Bit of rubbing there, but it's Salo to the lead ahead of Pulio, and then comes Seb Mills with the field behind them, all together still here, as George Hassart brings up the rear at the moment, but he's right in the mix still, as all of these drivers have a chance of victory here today. As we now see racing up at the front, it is Pulio going to the outside of Salo. He's getting pushed by his teammate Seb Mills. Through turn 3 they go now. It's a great little bit of racing up at the front. Salo just about keeps on the low side, a bit of a wiggle there from Pulio, and he's going to take the lead here as they start lap 12 of 20. As now we see, look, Pulio having to block out front here, making sure he stays in the lead as Mills makes it 3 wide for 2nd place. His teammate goes to give him the slipstream. Very helpful there from him. As we see teamwork immediately, but all that could end badly. A bit of a bump mid-corner has given a chance as all this drama. Have they all survived through here? It looks like they just about have. Salo has had a big slide by the looks of things, but he's still right in the mix. It's drama all over the place here. This race, it's only worth 5 points for the win, 4 points for 2nd, 3 for 3rd, 2 for 4th, and 1 for 5th. but crucially it sets the grid for the Blue Moon 200, the crown jewel event in NASCAR GT. So all these drivers, they want to be the first winners of the season. They want to put themselves above the competition, and a win here at Blue Moon will do just that. The battles at Blue Moon are a big stepping stone to the season. Whilst they may not offer that many points compared to a full points paying race, they are still a crucial part of what could potentially end up being a championship winning season. As we see them race now through turn 1, blocking going on behind Sandover, defending from Richardson as they make their way down the back straight with Mills right behind the pair of them. And they've got side by side between Driscoll and Hassart making their way, trying to get up into the points paying positions here. The top 5 of course scoring points. Two drivers from this race will not get any points. But up the front, Pulio continues to lead on lap 13 of 20. He's got Sandover, and then that's Richardson right behind him as Sandover goes to the inside here in the 23 car. He's going to try and take the lead away, not quite able to. Oh, there's contact. Pulio in a big slide. He's just about held it. I don't know how. What a save there from Pulio, and he's still racing for the lead, and he still might take the lead back, and he does. What a save. Possibly the save of the race already, possibly the save of the season already from Pulio, but he's going to get past anyway. Richardson on the inside is going to try and take the lead away, and he will. He's got the preferred racing line, and he's got a bump up the rear of him there. Sandover pushing him down the back straight as they make their way into the flat out turn 2 here. Racing hard as ever, lap 14 of 20. Let's see who's going to come out on top here out of turn 2. It is Adam Richardson, who continues to lead now for the 7 Phoenix Motorsports car. Oh, look at that, look at all the scrapping going through the final corner. They're free wide in the background there, and they're all just about going to make it off the corner. As there we see Ghost fired up. That is Adam Richardson in the lead, and now behind him though, he's got a contender for the lead. Seb Mills pushes his teammate out front. Pulio back to the lead. Will Seb Mills look to try and take the lead for himself now? Pulio out front, as then you see Adam Richardson on the low side. He's going to try and squeeze Seb. He puts him into the wall. A little bit of rubbing there. Oh, and has someone gone around? It's Scott Sandover, and we're going to have a late race caution here at Blue Moon in the first of the 2 battles. The caution is out once more, and that is Scott Sandover, who has gone around in the second spin of the day. It's been far from the second incident of the race though. We have seen plenty of drama so far, and this gives us just a brief moment to breathe here, as we could still go green this time if Sandover catches up in time. Let's go. Driver's eye with Sandover here, and we will be able to go green this time. So let's quickly get the message out to the drivers. We are going to have a sprint to the finish here in Blue Moon. What could possibly go wrong? It's going to be great for us viewers to witness it. I cannot wait here. Pulio and Mills line up on the front row as we'll be going green this time. They're making their way towards the start finish line. When will they go? They're still side by side. When will their leader hit the throttle? It's now. We're back to green flag racing here at Blue Moon. Pulio back to the lead ahead of Mills, and then Richardson in third. Pulio pulls away out front, but look at that. The Phoenix Motorsports cars working together very well on the inside. They're going to take the fight to the fast Formula Racing cars, and that's going to be Adam Richardson on the inside trying to take the lead, and successfully taking the lead. Contact off of the corner, but he will take the lead here in the Blue Moon battle. But immediately the fast Formula Racing cars have fought back. Pulio back to the lead, Mills up into second place, but they've got the 2 Phoenix Motorsports cars right on the back of them. This could get exciting as we make our way into turn 3 here. Less than 5 laps to go. Oh, is that a spin? It is. Ghost fired up, has spun the car around, and we're going to have another caution. We are going to have another caution. Adam Richardson, for the second time in this race, has spun his car around, and that is going to bring out the 3rd caution of the day. You can tell that these drivers know that this race is getting closer and closer to the end here. It is very, very exciting here in Blue Moon, as we now see the drivers making their way down the start-finish line. We'll have to have a lap under caution here, which luckily will give me a chance to breathe, which is always a nice opportunity to get when commentating a race. This race has just been far from quiet, let's put it that way. Crucially now, with the fast Formula Racing cars lining on the front row once again, the Phoenix Motorsports cars, who worked so well on the previous restart, have been separated. 2 teams have both their drivers in this race, of course those being Fast Formula Racing and Phoenix Motorsports. The other 3 drivers, those being Ben Driscoll from Dolphin Autosport. You then also have George Hassart from Zero Quality Racing, and I believe Scott Sandover from Funny F1 Racing are the other drivers in this race who don't have a teammate, so they've got a slightly tougher challenge. But these grids fully randomised, they've got a good chance still. They don't have to worry about necessarily having to help a teammate. They can just focus on their own race, which is something that sometimes can be easier to deal with as a driver. But now, we are getting ready to go back racing. We saw Pulio wait right until the line for his last restart, much later than we've seen some of the others. When will he go for the final time here? They're side by side. There will be no more cautions in this race, no matter what happens. Pulio is out front. He is alongside his teammate Seb Mills, and we are getting ready to finish this race. We are green flag back in the air here, and we are racing. And I was mistaken earlier. You are allowed a caution where up to 2 laps left, I believe, for reading the regulations, which concerningly I wrote myself as they're racing into turn 1. So we've got one more lap where a caution could come out. We see now, Pulio leads the way. Mills has been passed by Driscoll, who will get up into second place. If there is not a caution on this lap, we will have a green flag finish no matter what. Pulio leads ahead of Driscoll with just less than 3 laps to go. It is going to get extremely exciting as Driscoll looks to the outside to take the lead. There's not going to be a chance there. Pulio covers that outside line off going to the final corner. Driscoll's going to have to dive it in low here to try and take the lead away, as you see Salo doing the same as they're 3 wide behind. They're banging doors for lead. Driscoll sideways, lots of contact off the corner, and that's down the pit lane. Ellery Salo spins, and we will have a caution here. We will have a caution. It is going to come out just before the start of the penultimate lap here, and immediately the caution is going to fly here as they're spinning as they try and get slowed down. There is a caution out, although it doesn't, as yes, Scott Sandover is now slowing down here. That caution just barely came out before the point of no return, which now means we will have a 1 lap sprint to the finish. Wow, oh wow, drama is here. It's going to be a 1 lap race for the finish here in Blue Moon. I had to quickly check how many laps left required for a caution, and it is 2 full laps, which at the moment of the spin, and at the moment I pressed the C to start typing caution, that was the case. By the time I'd finished it, yes, to be fair, we had crossed the line, but when I started it, that was the case, so we have to sort of base it off of that, and look, we are going to get racing in time for a 1 lap dash to the finish. This is, well, quite frankly, beyond exciting. A 1 lap sprint to the finish here in NASCAR GT, the first of the battles at Blue Moon. It's Sandover on the inside, it's Pulio on the outside, the drivers getting ready to start, and we are green for the final time in the first battle here of Blue Moon. Sandover gets a good launch. Can he get the lead straight away? He does indeed. He pulls out in front. Pulio on the outside. Can he fight back here on the final lap of the race? This could get messy. This could get full of drama, as already Sandover in the wall as they made their way into turn 1. Drama as Driscoll ends up taking the lead. He bangs off the wall, though. Driscoll leads ahead of Pulio. Pulio looking to try and take the inside. He's got the inside as they go towards turn 2. We then have Richardson and then Mills in 3rd and 4th place. Pulio takes the lead here as they make their way towards turn 3 for the final time. It's Richardson on the outside of Driscoll. He's looking to try and get the lead. Pulio blocks Richardson on the outside line. That's going to allow Driscoll through on the inside. Driscoll takes the lead into turn 3. Richardson's right on his rear bumper. Pulio's right on the outside as well. He's going to slot into line. Who is going to get the win here? It's Driscoll who leads them all the way to the line. Can anyone take it away from him? No. Ben Driscoll wins the first battle of Blue Moon. What a race. What a drive. Ben Driscoll wins the first Blue Moon battle here, and the first win of Season 6 goes to Benjamin Driscoll. Very nice stuff there. Dalton Autosport, number 36, is in victory lane here for the first of the 2 battles here at Blue Moon. What a drive and what a race all the way to the finish. So, very well done to all the drivers there for keeping at it, and such a close finish. I don't even remember where they all finished, to be honest. It was very, very exciting. We'll save that replay because I'm going to want to see that one again. So yes, exciting stuff here at Blue Moon. But yeah, that was dramaful. So yeah, we'll see what the drivers think of it now as we get ready for the second battles at Blue Moon. And now we will let all the drivers know. Let's quickly let them know. Okay, battle 2 drivers can now join. As you now see, Rick Debris, Johnny Mills joining this one, the second of the Mills brothers. The older of the Mills brothers as well, although sadly for him, the less successful of the 2 Mills brothers, although he has made himself in 2 Final 4 appearances, so far from way behind his younger brother, but those 2, fierce competition, probably for the best of everyone else in the field that those 2 weren't in the same battle here today. We'll have to wait until the Blue Moon 200 to see those 2 racing at it with each other. Of course, John O'Mills runs his own team this season, co-owns his own team this season with Kieran Kevern, who also will be in this race here today. Rick Debris, I believe, will be driving the second of the Dalton Autosport cars. I believe in the 42, or I could be wrong on that. It might be the 46. I think it's the 46, actually. So yes, Aston Lewis also joining. He's one of the 3 Phoenix Motorsports cars, so he'll be on his own in this race because his 2 teammates were in the previous one. Oh, now we'll see Tyler Davison making his return to the league. He won the second battle here last season. Can he go back to back in the battles? That'll be exciting to see. He'll be racing for Bune Motorsports this season. They will have both their drivers in this duel, I believe. Actually, no, Carlo, his teammate, will not be able to make today's race, actually, come to think of it. So let me just look at the lineup. So we're also expecting from this race Mike Malone, as he's now just joined now. He'll be racing for FR Racing. His teammate wasn't able to race in the first of the battle, so he'll be on his own here today. Then there is Dylan Graham, who's not going to be able to race as well. He's had some connection issues today. And there is also, okay, so we're just waiting on Kieran Kevern and Chloe Glennon to make up the grid here to make 7 drivers in the second duel. So yes, we will have a wait and see at that. And then we'll get racing here for the second time today. Scheduled to start at 7:25. It's probably going to be delayed by a few minutes here as we've only got 5 guys in at the moment. So yeah, we'll just wait and see here. I'll just remind them to join. And then we'll all be ready to race. So there's Chloe Glennon, and it is... who's the other driver we're waiting for? Let me have a quick look. It is Kieran Kevern who we're waiting for as well. So... just a brief pause now whilst we wait for the second race to begin. But yes, there'll certainly be some drama from that race. Of course, the late caution adding some spice to it. Having a 1-lap dash at the finish. Controversial, I know, but that's the way it was decided there. Probably may need some, perhaps will be some regulation changes for the Blue Moon 200 on that. Maybe a 1-lap dash is a bit too much for everyone. But of course, you know, we have the rules, we set them in place at the start of the season, and they're very fluid. We can change them race to race if we need to. We'll leave them as is for the second of battles tonight, but maybe for the Blue Moon 200 we'll change the rules on how late a caution come out. Of course, the rule states has to be 2 full laps of racing remaining, but that's sort of looking at trying to get a restart before the start-finish line and having a 2-lap sprint to the finish. But in this scenario, because the caution was thrown before that point, it was technically legitimate by the regulations, but because of when it came out, we had to have another lap under caution, meaning it restarted with 1 lap to go. So that will add a bit of drama to this one. Just waiting to see now if we can hear from Kieran Kevern, who will be hopefully joining the lobby soon, as he has now said he is joining. So Chloe Glennon joining now. She is in the Fast Formula Racing number 44 car. So in this race we will have the 46 for Dalton Autosport, we'll have the 57 for Bune Motorsports, we will have the 11 for Phoenix Motorsports, we will have the number, I want to say 12 for Mike Malone for FR Racing, although I could be wrong on that one, and the 54 for Kieran Kevern and the 32 for Jono Mills. So yes, the good news about having Jono Mills and Seb Mills is that in separate battles is of course that we can just call them Mills for today. So nice and easy, just Mills for both of them. In future races I'll probably have to just call them Jono and Seb to keep things simple, because otherwise we're going to get very confused, especially if they start racing each other side by side. So yeah, so let's hope that maybe that doesn't happen for this season, although with the ovals and with the road courses, those two drivers being very similar in a lot of scenarios, it'll be strange having to commentate on those two, and it's quite possible that will be an event we have to look at as we now get ready for the second of the Battles of Blue Moon. Everyone is entered. We are going to get racing here for the second of battles. Of course, we have the formation lap to begin again, just like the previous one. We're going to find out now what the grid will be, as there's a problem. Okay, so we're going to have to quickly ask all the drivers to quickly unenter and re-enter. If I need to find the way to talk. Is it here? Yes. Is it? Enter text. There we go. apologies for this brief delay. It's just got to thank GT7 for its little glitches it has here and there. That's definitely re-enter, isn't it? There's a dash in there, I'm sure. Probably would un-enter as well. They're probably not words. Should get my point across, though. So quickly ask all the drivers to un-enter and re-enter. Basically, it's a glitch in this game where sometimes someone will, when they enter the track with the little green tick we have down here, then if they, for some reason, it won't show that they've entered on other drivers' screens for some sort of weird connection issue, but they won't necessarily know that they've got that problem, so it's not so simple as just picking out each driver. We'll have to sort of have a quick look and see who it is. Two drivers have just done that now. We'll have a quick look. Mike Malone has completely left the room. That's not ideal. So we'll wait for him to return. Let's just wait and see now for him to get out there. I'm going to have a quick look, just check. I'm going to have to briefly enter just to see if it is someone else that's got the issue. Nope, everyone else is there, so it would have been Mike that had the problem. So when he gets back, hopefully that'll fix the issue as we cancel our entry. We're not racing today, as Mike is now rejoining the lobby. Nice to see. Mike, the one of two Americans on the grid this season, him and Matt Pulio. Both of them have first names that are 4 letters and begin with M. That's your fun fact of the day. All the Americans currently in NASCAR GT have a first name that has 4 letters and starts with M. That's the sort of content you wouldn't get elsewhere, folks. Yes, this is the joy of having a little break between the battles. It adds these fun facts that you have to listen to. So I hope you're enjoying them very much. As we'll just wait now for Mike to enter, and he has now entered. So we'll have a quick look. Can we start the race now? Well, actually, we'll wait a second because it might take a few seconds for him to actually enter. You can see him there in, I believe, I might have to look that up actually and check which number he's in, which is concerning, as I should know these things, but it's the start of the season. It'll take me a few races possibly to get everything right, and he's in the 16 car, not the 12 car. So let's have another quick look. Can we start the race? We can't again. I'm going to guess it's for Mike, so I'm going to have to enter here. And look, and yes, it looks to me like it's Mike that's not appearing on the top left. So we need him to un-enter and re-enter. If someone can try and communicate that to him, be very helpful. I have to at him here. Mike, please. I might remember it from last time. And enter again. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Let's hope. Because last time he left the lobby entirely, which is not what we needed him to. We needed him to sort of say, click here, enter, and then click here, cancel entry. So maybe I could have phrased it as cancel entry. That possibly would have been better. But it's too late now. We'll wait and see if this can fix it. Oh, he's left the room again. That's annoying. Okay, we'll have to wait for him to rejoin. And then we'll try again. I shouldn't have said again, because that meant he thought I'm stupid, sorry. I haven't really helped the situation at all there, so apologies, viewers. If you want to take a few minutes to go and get yourself a cup of tea or something, or have a drink, please feel free. We'll be up and racing in no time. Only 6 minutes late so far. The good news is that for most races, we won't have to get in a whole new grid for the second part of the race. We'll have it continuously the same grid, hopefully, throughout, which should limit these issues. And hopefully the season goes on, some of these drivers will learn the issues if they do happen, so they can fix them quite quickly. We'll take a brief pause here whilst he joins the room, as Elmarie has now decided to join as well for some reason. I don't know why Elmarie's joined. He shouldn't be here. But yes, we'll wait a few more moments. It says Mike's in the room, but he isn't. Oh, there we go. He's appeared there. Let's get this sorted, shall we? Should we try again? Let's see if it works. Let's hope that it works this time. It works! Yeah! Good job. We've done it, everyone. So, I hope you haven't gone anywhere too far, because we are going to be racing in just a formation lapse time. So yeah, let's have a look at what the grid will be. And let's wait for them to all load in. We'll probably have to turn off of this view just after we've in. So it's Aston Lewis on the pole position, and he'll be lining up alongside Rick Debris on the front row there, driving full Dalton Autosport and Phoenix Motorsport, with the Bune Motorsport car of Tyler Davison in third place. Just ahead of the Knowles Kerbin Racing car of, I believe that is Johnny GT. Johnny Mills, of course. Now we're going to quickly unspectate and respectate to get this to all work again. Get all the information you will want to see, and there we go. We've got the field all making their way around here on the formation lap. So let's quickly run down with Aston Lewis on the front position of the grid, and then we have Rick Debris followed up by Tyler Davison in third on the second row alongside John O'Mills. Then comes Chloe Glennon in the third fast from the racing car alongside FR Racing's Mike Malone, and then Kieran Kevern will bring up the back of the grid here for today's event. So let's let them know we will be green this time as we get them ready to go. They are now aware that we'll be racing at the start of lap 2. 7 drivers in the first of the duels, the battles I should say, based on the real life duels in Daytona, if you're aware of those. And this will be the second 7 drivers again for this, so currently 14 drivers in, but we've had a couple of drivers that dropped out for this, so hopefully we'll have those guys back in for the 200. But yes, now we go. Aston Lewis on the inside, Rick Debris on the outside. Who is going to get the lead here into turn 1? They're side by side coming to the line. Green flags in the air, and we are racing in the second of the battles at Blue Moon. Aston Lewis leads the field away, and they're all clean as they get down the main straight for the first time today. Big jump there for Lewis in the 11 car, and he will lead them into turn 1. Davison looking to the inside there of Rick Debris as they go into turn 1, but he's going to have to defend there from Jono on the outside of him. As then you see the 3 cars in the back just trying to hold on to the field. Aston Lewis leads ahead of Rick Debris, then comes John O'Mills in third place there. 3 different cars. 3 different teams in the top 3 there. 4 different teams in the top 4 actually. The first double repeat driver there is Kieran Kevern, teammates with John O'Mills in third there. So yes, now we see them going into turn 3 for the first time today. Aston Lewis on the low side, then on the outside is Rick Debris, followed by Tyler Davison. As this field, immediately I noticed that this field's spreading out quite a little bit more than we saw in the previous race there, as immediately they all look to be just about within the pack still, but Aston Lewis out front being pushed along by Rick Debris in the 46 Dalton Autosport car. And Aston Lewis there, leading the way in the 11 for Phoenix Motorsport. May have rubbed the wall there a little bit. That could allow Rick Debris to have a chance here. But Jono Mills in third place, getting pushed nicely by Tyler Davison. Tyler Davison knows how to win around Blue Moon Speedway, so does Jono Mills. As does Aston Lewis out in the lead. There's so many drivers in this field who know how to win around this great speedway. I don't know if there's been many, if any, repeat winners around this great racetrack. As Mills straight up into second there, gets behind Lewis into second. Behind them it's Tyler Davison, and then comes the Dalton Autosport car. Rick Debris drops from second to fourth here. Davison and Mills work together well for a lap before they are now started battling again here, as Aston Lewis leads the way ahead of John Mills. Tyler Davison in third. They're going to make their way into turn 1 now. This very heavily banked, light braking zone as they go into here. The car's going to be on the edge of grip. You can see them all the way coming out. Oh, using all the road on exit there, as you see a bit of a slide there from Mills. That's going to cost him all the time down the back straight here. So Lewis leads ahead of Davison, and then comes Kevern in third. Debris right there in fourth. Mills in fifth, and then we see Chloe and Mike Malone, who have lost quite a little bit of ground here to the leaders. They appear to be struggling just a tad, but will likely have a caution later on in this race. So Lewis leads, as now we've got side-by-side racing for third place. Kevern on the outside of Debris. You can see Kevin's car shaking a little bit there, just a little bit of internet connectivity issues. Hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Doesn't look too bad so far, but Davison has taken the lead there away from Lewis as they go into turn 1, and Aston Lewis slides it back into the lead. That's a bold move and a half there, but he doesn't manage to make it stick. Davison retakes the lead there for the Bune Motorsport team there in that very patriotic British livery. Tyler Davison leading the way. Don't really need the British flag next to his name when you see that livery, but Aston Lewis right there in second in that number 11 Phoenix Motorsports car. Dalton Autosport will be looking to sweep today's event, winning both of the battles, but Rick Debris currently sitting fourth. Not exactly where he would want to be at the moment, as he's dropped quite a bit back actually, as so is Johnny Mills there. So we've got a 3-car breakaway out front here, complete polar opposite to the first race where we had a 7-car pack throughout. We now have a 3-car breakaway out front, but if they battle like they look like they're going to, it's not going to stay that way for very long. Lewis to the lead now, ahead of Kevern. Davison right in the mix there. Davison going to hang it around the outside of Kevin. Contact there. Davison put in the wall by the MKR car of Kieran Kevin. They're one of the co-owners of that team. Phoenix Motorsports, though, lead the way in that, what I must say is a beautiful car out front there, the number 11 car. All the cars in this field are really good looking, as Davison has been now passed and dropping into the second group because of that contact down turn 1. He won't be happy at all. That has now forced him into this second group of drivers, with Debris now ahead, following Davison and then Mills. This group of three is now going to have to work together to get back up to the leaders here. Lewis and Kevin, if they work together, they can pull away out front here, and if there's no caution, well, they could have this battle for the win just between the two of them, if I get my words out eventually there. But these three here battling away for third place. If they're smart, then they'll work together and try and make their way up the order. But Davison here making the move on Mills. He wants to be the driver that leads this group up to the leaders again. As meanwhile, I have Mike Malone and Chloe Glenn battling away for 6th position at no points available for this position. But of course, if there is some drama, especially late in the race, they could still pick up some points from today's event. But there we see Kevin has taken the lead from Lewis in this Blue Moon battle, the second of the two battles today. Now let's see, will they work together? Will they play nice down the main straight? Will Lewis push him down the main straight? It looks like he's going to do just that. The gap is 1.5 seconds to Debris in third. That's going to be the gap you're going to want to keep an eye on here. It grows as Davison is going to look for the move into turn 1. Tyler Davison will retake third position. He's going to go to the outside now. Debris on the inside. He can't quite get the move done. The Honda Sport car dropping behind the Beauty Motorsport car there of Tyler Davison, but Debris is now going to get pushed along by Jono Mills, who's going to try and get them back up into that battle for third position. The gap now 1.7 seconds between the top two and the trailing pack. Kevin leads the way ahead of Lewis. Lewis in that Phoenix Motorsport number 11 car, pushing the Mills Kevin Racing entry of Kieran Kevin out front here. As now you can see them racing. These guys, maybe they don't want to win this one, I don't know. All these point-paying positions are fair play, they're going to want to battle over them. But they're really letting that lead group break away. I say lead group, that lead pair break away out front, as Debris now retakes that position in third place. I believe I am actually pronouncing Rick Debris' name wrong, so I apologise for that. My Dutch is, well, non-existent, quite frankly. I believe it's Debray, but I'll seek clarification for the next race. Yes, now we see Mills pushing along his, well, not teammate, but he's certainly working together well with Debris in the Dalton Autosport car. Maybe there's a partnership going on there between those two. As down behind them, we see Tyler Davison. He was up in that lead group until that contact he had earlier on dropped him down out of it. But now we see he's up in 5th place at the moment. As there we see racing for the lead, Lewis is going to just about take the lead of the race there as they start lap 10. We're nearly halfway through this battle at Blue Moon. Let's have a quick look what you commenters are saying whilst we're watching this race. Yes, let's have a look at this. Yes, Evan Dalton there in the comments, thank you very much for that, pointing out that only 2 people have won the Blue Moon 200 and the Indianapolis 250, the current two Crown Jewel events in this league, as we see these two at the back still battling away. I was concerned there may have been a spin there. But yeah, there's only 2 drivers who have done that in the history of this league. Of course, there's only been 2 Indianapolis 250, so it'll be hard for any more to have done that. Those, of course, being yourself, Evan Dalton in the comments, and myself, Jackson Turner, here in the commentary box. As you can see, both of us are unlikely to win it this season, as neither of us will be competing. But yes, here we see them racing into turn 1. Rick Debray ahead of Jono Mills and Tyler Davison, still battling away. They want a caution, most likely, as Ev Mills saying that in the chat. They probably do. But all contact there. Tyler Davison way below the yellow line, as they are actually reeling in the lead too. So they definitely can catch up to battle for the lead here. But, well, maybe they don't want to. Who knows? As Mike White and Chloe Glenn battle away. Oh, there's a spin! It's Tyler Davison, he's into the inside wall. Contact there, and the caution is going to fly here at Blue Moon. And now we see the first caution of the day. The caution they wanted, the caution they needed to battle here up front is out. Aston Lewis will lead them across the line as they just got past the halfway point in the race. Those of you watching, feel free to put your predictions for how this race is going to end up in the comments. I'll happily read them out and see if any of us are correct. I am not brave enough to put any predictions in this one so far, but I think, you know, Kevin and Lewis in the 11 and 54 cars respectively, they obviously have got a good chance here. They've battled up front for 3 laps, but Tyler Davison, Rick Debray, Jono Mills have all proven in this race so far that they don't care what position they're in. They're fighting hard all the way to the end. Evan putting Mike Malone, he's an outsider, I'll give him that. But, well, it's Blue Moon, really anything can happen. So Mike Malone could well spring a surprise here. He's not at the best of races so far, but he's a rookie. Rookies, they quite often struggle here. And he's got a good fighter along there with him, Chloe Glennon. She's put in some brilliant drives around here in the past. And she's had quite a long time in NASCAR GT. And, of course, the only female driver. She's battling away with Mike Malone at the back there. They'll be learning things back there. Whilst it may seem like a pointless battle, they'll be learning crucial things for the Blue Moon 200, where all the finishers will receive points. So it really all does matter as we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. Lewis and Kevin on the front row, and we are green flag racing again here at the Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Lewis with another amazing jump. Rick Debray looking to try and get up to second here. He's on the inside of Kevin. He's going to slot in behind though, as they're racing to tail one once more for the 13th time today. They're racing into tail one. Debray looking to the inside there. He's got a push from Davison. Davison's going to slide up the racetrack. He could well put Jono in the wall. He doesn't though. Crucially there, Jono Mills on the outside of Tyler Davison. Kevin looking to try and take the lead away here from Aston Lewis out front, as we see them fly past here. The whole pack charging their way past the camera. As them at the way into turn 2 here, the flat out turn 2. We see there, I believe that is the Dalton Sport car of Rick Debray on the outside, followed by Kieran Kevin as Aston Lewis defends and takes the lead here ahead of Jono Mills on the inside. Then there's Tyler Davison having to squeeze Kevin up against that barrier. He gets the move just about done there, as Chloe Glennon's had a great restart. She's up into 4th place now in the third of the Fast Formula Racing entries here today. She's now racing with Tyler Davison. They're again seeing a scrap for 3rd place, perhaps disrupt this pack, as there's now Jono Mills and Aston Lewis in the top 2 spots. Chloe Glennon racing away there with Kieran Kevin for 4th position, but she's going to slot in behind him now, as that's Tyler Davison, who's straight on the back of the leaders, and he's making the move for 2nd place now. He's gone to the outside of Jono Mills, down the back straight. He's got the outside here for turn 2, not the preferred line, but now he's got a car on his inside, and that of course being Jono Mills' teammate, and that's Kieran Kevin. What an amazing move there. Threads the needle between those 2 cars, and we'll get into the back of this group, as now we see Aston Lewis leading by a small amount here. Aston Lewis ahead of Jono Mills, and then comes Kieran Kevin side by side with Chloe Glennon, who's made a great recovery in this race to struggle early on, and now she having a great old scrap up in this top 5, getting pushed there from Tyler Davison. Rick Debree's back into this fight as well. Mike Blunt, the only driver so far to lose touch with this pack, as they dive into turn 1 once more. It's Jono Mills who takes the lead here, as it's a Mills Kevin racing 1-2, but we saw the same happen in the first one. We saw a team get out front, but it didn't end up with that team winning. Anyone can win here. As we see, Jono Mills leads the way. Aston Lewis squeezed below the yellow line. That's going to be a controversial one there. You're not allowed to overtake below the yellow line. But of course, if you're forced below the yellow line, there's not much you can do. So, drama there immediately. I'm sure they'll be arguing that one long into the night. As they race into turn 3, Debray, somehow from the start of the lap, he was in 6th. He's up into the lead for Dalton Sport. As there's a big crash. That's Kevin. And who else is involved there? That's Kevin, and is that his teammate? It's Aston Lewis involved there. Jono Mills looks like he's got caught up in that, and the caution is going to come out here at Blue Moon once again. So teammates and Aston Lewis, the 3 cars that were running up front just a moment ago, are now down the order. And now Chloe Glenn and Mike Malone, 2 drivers who at one point in this race looked set to be battling for 6th all the way until the end. Now, well, they're in a very interesting position. 3rd and 4th lining up on that 2nd row of the grid. They could certainly spring a surprise. Evan Dalton, your prediction may well not have been so wrong, as we now see. So yeah, and also good point there, you're reminding us, of course, that the Blue Moon Speedway race back in season 4, where Evan Dalton finished 6th on track, but after penalties ended up winning the race. And that was a drama-filled race, to say the least there. But now we are getting ready to go racing here at Blue Moon. There is but 4 laps remaining here, as I keep accidentally pressing that too many times. But yes, now we get ready. Debray will lead the field back to racing speed. Dalton Sport looking to sweep the battles at Blue Moon, just like, of course, Roush Fenway Kozlowski Racing did in real life at the Daytona Duels. Rick Debray leading the field to green here. When will that flag wave? He puts his pedal to the floor, and we are racing again at the Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Rick Debray leads the field, not quite as good a jump as we've seen some others make, but Chloe Lennon straight up into 2nd place there. Tyler Davison with not a nice restart at all. Jono Mills, neither has he had a good restart. He drops to 3rd. Tyler Davison drops to 4th. Mike Malone up into 4th there. Davison looking to try and take some positions back. Jono Mills up into 3rd, I should say, not drops to 4th. Not drops to 3rd. He made a great restart, actually, come to think of it. As Chloe Lennon in 2nd there, behind Rick Debray. Debray leads them with 3 laps to go at the end of this one. We're getting very close to the crucial point in this race. Glennon right on the back of the Dalton Autosport car in the lead. We saw Fast Formula Racing versus Dalton Autosport in the first race. Are we going to see it again here for the win in the 2nd of the battles at Blue Moon? Dylan on the back of Rick Debray, the 46 car versus the 44 car. Oh, that's a car spinning in the background. That's Aston Lewis, and the caution is going to fly once again here at Blue Moon. Aston Lewis will spin again, and the caution is out. And we will again have a restart here at Blue Moon, and this will be most likely the final restart of the race. It will definitely be the final restart of the race. Drama here immediately. Glenn had made that great restart from third, but now starting second, it's one of the toughest places to restart because you don't get a good view of that race leader. It's hard to understand watching from here. You think, well, they're right on your inside, you can see them perfectly well, but when you're alongside, you don't get that view that you would get if you were behind them. So yeah, it's a really tough situation to be in, but you've got a good pusher behind you, anything can happen, and if you get that restart perfectly, well, you can really fight for the lead going to the first corner. But we've seen so far, Paulson has made good restarts so far. Yes, let's see how it plays out now as we do go green this time, as Aston Lewis has caught up to the back of the field. We are getting ready to go green for the final time. We had a sprint to the finish in the first of the battles. We're going to have a sprint to the finish in the second of the battles. It's Rick Debray and Chloe Glennon on the front row for Dalton Autosport and Fast Formula Racing, two teams that have had a long history of battling each other in league racing. Rick Debray, when will he push the throttle? He goes for the final time. We are green at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Rick Debray with a great restart there. Jono Mills looking to try and make something happen here on the inside of Chloe Glennon. A big push there coming from his teammates. Mike Malone's on the inside as well. Jono Mills up into second place, and chaos into Talmon there. Jono Mills right onto the back of the leader, and that's Tyler Davison up into the wall and drops down to 7th place. He's going to have his work cut out to recover now, as Chloe Glennon has lost 4 places on that restart. Another driver with a tough restart there, but up at the front it's Rick Debray, who leads ahead of Jono Mills and Kieran Kevin. The teammates are in second and third. That could be a crucial position to be in now as they prepare for the white flag. They go through turn 2 for the penultimate time today. They make their way towards turn 3. It is Rick Debray who leads again. He is, well, really in control of this late race, but could someone get into the mix here? We're getting ready to see the white flag in the air. The final lap is about to begin here in the second of the battles of Blue Moon. Rick Debray leads them across the white flag line, but look at that, Jono Mills and Kieran Kevin, they're going to put in middle of free wide as they go into Talmon. This could end all kinds of badly. Oh look, big slide from Rick Debray. It pushes Jono up into the wall. Kieran Kevin on the inside there, Mills on the inside. He's going to try and get to the inside now of Rick Debray, and he will get to the inside. He's going to push Kieran Kevin out front. The teammates are going to bump their way out front here as Dalton Autosport. It's looking unlikely that they'll be able to sweep him, but Rick Debray right in the fight still, as that's Aston Lewis up into 4th, as they're still battling behind further down the order. Jono Mills on the back of Kieran Kevin as they make their way to turn 3 for the final time today. Jono Mills on the back of his teammate. Will he go for victory, or will he help a friend? Who will win this second of the battles? Kieran Kevin is going to lead out of the final corner, and it's going to be Kieran Kevin who wins the second of the battles at Blue Moon. What a drive. Teamwork displayed to perfection there by the Mills Kevin team. What a race that one was. And again, a sprint to the finish does never disappoint. What a race we have just witnessed. And Kieran Kevin wins here in Blue Moon. What a drive. And well, both of the drivers who won both of the battles at Blue Moon started last in their battle. That's just a fun fact for you there. Both of the drivers to win their battle started last. Well, isn't that a fun fact to you? You may want, after that, you may be quite happy to start last for the Blue Moon 200. But yes, that is another drama-filled race here. I hope you all enjoyed that one very much. And well, lots of action throughout the field. And if you enjoyed that, just you wait. We've got the Blue Moon 200 in just a week's time. Same time, starting at 7 PM BST. Next week, next Monday, the 26th of September. So, well, don't go anywhere. It is going to be an exciting one. The Blue Moon 200 rarely disappoints, and if the battles are anything to go by, it certainly won't disappoint this season. So thank you very much to all that watched. I hope you enjoyed today's event. I certainly did from a commentator's perspective. My voice perhaps hasn't, but wow, oh wow, what a start to the season. And, well, the first points have been dished out, and Mills Kevin Racing, certainly at least on the speedways, are looking like they could well be tough to beat here. But don't rule out Dalton Autosport. With one car in both battles, both of them did very, very well, to keep an eye on that team. as we make our way to Bloom. And make sure to follow Next Gen Competition on Instagram if you don't already. You'll see the full, you'll see the official winner when that is confirmed. Of course, penalties could well come into things. Fingers crossed it won't. It's never nice when penalties come into deciding a race. But hopefully they won't. But of course they could well. So you'll see the official winners on both of those pages. And of course, for the first time this season, you will see the standings for this series, because there was only 5 points on offer for the winner, 4 for second, third for third. Of course, you'll see how that's going down until you get to 1 point for fifth. For both battles, we also have a playoff point, which will come in very crucial and very important later on in the season. But again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. And until next time, goodbye.